I'm Barry Tramel, and I say the college football game of the day this weekend is in Columbus, Ohio.
I think it's going to be a great game, but I'm going to pick the one in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. A bunch of great games this week, though. From the Opupco Studios in Oklahoma City, you're watching the Press Row. I'm Jenni Carlson. Barry, we could really pick from about half a dozen games that are really, really good this week. I like that Penn State-Alabama game, but you're going with the Ohio State game.
I like the Miami at Ohio State game for two reasons. One's the intrigue from the rematch from the Fiesta Bowl of the 2002 season when Miami won the national championship. For a split second, then our pal up in Penn County, Terry Porter, threw the flag, said, wait a minute, this game's not over. Ohio State wins in double overtime. So a lot of angst in that game. What I like about it, I think Miami has a fighting chance to win it. Yeah. My problem in Tuscaloosa is I just don't think Penn State can pull it off. A freshman quarterback going down to Dixie, trying to win at Bryant-Denny Stadium. I think that's a tall order. I think Miami might have the moxie to knock off the Buckeyes.
Yeah, I like Miami as an up-and-coming team, no doubt about it. I think they're going to win a lot of games this year, and I think they're really a team on the rise. But I like this Penn State-Alabama game. It's a traditional powerhouse rivalry type of game. You don't see a lot of these sorts of matchups anymore. We've got several this week, but these are two of the more traditional powers. And when you're talking about Joe Paterno, the longtime coach that has such the wide respect that he does, and then Nick Saban, who has really become a good, evil enemy, I guess, of the state when it comes to college football. I just think it's a really strong traditional matchup. Penn State got out to a little bit of a rocky start, but eventually blew out Youngstown State last week. This is definitely going to be a big challenge for them, but just the traditional nature of this, I really like that game. But there are several traditional rivalries when you talk about this week. Obviously, locally, that Oklahoma-Florida State game comes to mind. That's also a renewal of a past championship game.
Well, when you talk about what a great weekend it is, when Oklahoma is playing Florida State and it's not one of the two best matchups of the week, you got a really good weekend. It's a great matchup. Sooners go to Tallahassee next year, so it's just these are the team of the school of the 70s against the school of the 90s, and teams that have combined for 9 national titles since 1950. Bobby Bowden, Barry Switzer, all those great matchups. And then the rematch, another national title rematch from the 2000 season Orange Bowl. So it is a great matchup. This is going to be a Saturday that will go a long way in determining the pecking order in college football this year.
I'll be interested to see who wins this game, obviously, for a lot of reasons. But, after watching what happened against Utah State, I really felt like Oklahoma was going to lose that game. I've thought about all these games, though, that Oklahoma has where you think they're going to lose at home and they end up winning by a comfortable margin. I think they're going to win by double digits on Saturday. Maybe I'm dead wrong, but I just think that they had an eye-opening occurrence last Saturday. I think they're going to win by a couple touchdowns, Barry. And I'm really not as sure about any of the rest of these games, with the exception of maybe Oregon, Tennessee. I like Oregon to go to Knoxville and win pretty big.
I'm actually thinking about picking Tennessee in an upset. I think Oregon may be a little bit of a overrated team. 72-0 on New Mexico. This just in. The Lobos stink. Had a terrible hire in Mike Loxley, a scandal within the program. That's a program in total disarray. Most teams that played New Mexico Saturday would have rolled up a 72-0 victory. I think Derek Dooley has people excited. They don't have a surfer boy coaching them anymore. They got a child of the South, the son of Vince Dooley. I think Tennessee's going to be fired up. I think they can knock off Oregon.
Well, and that's possible, but I'm going to go with Oregon in that game. But a game, talk about traditional powers, and we haven't even gotten to this one yet, is Michigan-Notre Dame. And these are two teams that, sort of fallen off the radar in recent years, but Michigan goes to Notre Dame, Barry. I like Notre Dame to win this game. But this is real. That's a fun matchup too.
Oh, you got Brian Kelly has restored the excitement to Notre Dame, and it looks like Rich Rodriguez, the Wolverines, got past a huge hurdle last week in beating Connecticut. And a lot of people thought they would lose. They won with ease. Maybe he's getting things going in the third year in Ann Arbor. The winner of this game is going to be 2-0, and people's going to think it's 1977 all over again, with everything just blissful in either Ann Arbor or South Bend. So this is a huge game.
Yeah, lots of huge games on the docket. We'll see how it all goes down over the weekend. Hey, stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoma.